The Campervan, the adventures of a newly retired couple. At the ripe old age of 72, my father decided to call it a day. 50 years of service to the public. A happy retirement was now on his way. My mother, she retired a few years earlier after a lifetime working in the HSE. They both now deserved an easy life, and I'm sure you'll all agree. 2 or 3 holidays a year, working in the garden, tending to the flowers and the trees. Take up a hobby like knitting or crocheting or making pots of honey from a hive of bees. That was my idea about how it should go. My father, he obviously didn't agree. He said they intended doing some travelling, and what his plans were he was about to share with me. They went out and bought a second-hand camper van with a toilet, a fridge, a shower and a deep freeze. It had 3 double beds in it that could easily sleep 8, he said, with a bit of a squeeze. Now, to say I got a shock would be an understatement when the new investment I called around to view. A bright orange camper van was parked outside the house. It was like something you'd see in the Adventures of Scooby-Doo. It had pink and green flowers painted on the sides and the words "Free Love" inscribed on the back door. Volkswagen was its makers, and it was first registered back in 1974. They planned going on a road trip, if you don't mind, with a few festivals like Liston-Varna and, for your mother, the Rose of Tralee. They'd move around from town to town each day, and at night time park her up in a nice romantic spot by the sea. They had done some research on the internet, and your mother has signed us up to an online campers club. Lots of like-minded people meet up in car parks and lay-bys instead of going to the pub. So they loaded the van up with food and drink. Pasta, potatoes, pork chops, chicken breasts, tons of Guinness, Bacardi, vodka and Coca-Cola Light. My father said with all the food and drink on board, all they'd be doing would be eating, drinking and going for a nice romantic walks on the beach. So they headed off one Monday morning in early April. After a short farewell and a quick cup of tea. They couldn't say when they'd be back. They'd play it by ear. That's what they said to me. Well, April passed and so did May. Not a word from the travelling couple. We got into June and I started to get a wee bit worried in case they'd gotten into trouble. In July, I tried them on the mobile. No joy. WhatsApp, FaceTime and what do you call that other one? Zoom. I didn't hear a dicky bird. They were having a good time. That's what I had to assume. We got into August and I really started to get worried. That was 5 months and no word at all. Was it time to fill in a missing persons report for a retired couple in an orange camper van with 3 double beds and a large supply of alcohol? Well, in the 3rd week in August, to my relief and my surprise, I got a call from my father to say they were back at home. Their travel plans they had to revise. I called up to visit that evening just to hear the news and all the crack. The camper van was nowhere to be seen at the front of the house, either side or even out the back. There was no word out of my mother. My father ushered me out the back and into the garage. Well, how did it go? Did you have a good time? His response was the following montage. Everything was going great, son, in April, May and into June. As we toured around the countryside, your mother reading books and on the guitar I played the odd Beatles tune. We went to festivals in Galway, Clare and Kerry and travelled down as far as Cork. We had great weather in Waterford, Kilkenny, Carlow, drinking beer and Bacardi and barbecue and chicken and pork. But last week we headed up to Dublin. That's where it all started to go downhill. Your mother contacted the online campers club to meet up with like-minded people, if you will. The plan was to meet in Jürgen and Vanessa's camper in the Wicklow Mountains, in a place I hadn't heard of before. There was going to be 4 couples meeting up. Your mother was very excited to see what was in store. Make sure and wear your summer pyjamas, they said, or something very light, which seemed a little strange to me. But your mother said, look, with 4 couples in the one van, it was probably going to get very hot inside. Son, I should have known the signs were there. When I think of it, that was shocking. The sign on Jürgen and Vanessa's camper read, when the camper van is rocking, you're very welcome to come on in without knocking. We approached the van and Vanessa appeared, nothing on her but a happy smile. Oh, your mother let out a mighty roar and ran down the road for about 3.5 miles. I turned around and Vanessa said, "You're very welcome, come on in. Leave your pyjamas at the door, sure the fun is just about to begin." Well, we hightailed it out of Dublin, straight to the Basilica and Knock. A full week of prayer and penance. Oh, your poor mother, she's still in shock. So what now about your retirement? And all your plans to visit lovely places by the sea? Surely you can put that experience behind ye. A misunderstanding, would you not agree? I'm afraid our campervan days are over, son. I'm going to spend time in the garden, tending to the flowers and some of the trees. Your mother, she's taken up knitting and crocheting, and we're going to make pots of honey from a hive of bees. Goramahiilgad.